Hello dear ones, this is Warm Light Tarot and I'm here today with a monthly reading for May 2023. Today I'm using my new decks, Tarot of Mystical Moments and the Egyptian Gods Oracle cards. And the cards shown here are from this tarot deck. It comes with extra cards for all the kings as well as the emperor. So we have cards for male and female identified people. Before I introduce these decks to you, I would just like to remind you that this is a general reading, which means that not all messages in this reading are necessarily meant for you. For some of you, the reading may resonate fully, and for others it may resonate only in part. So it is very important to listen to your heart and your gut and to decipher which messages are meant for you, okay? But let's get on with the reading now. And to do that, you will need to select a pile of cards that you feel most drawn to. So pile number 1, we have King of Cups. Pile number 2, we have King of Swords. Pile 3, King of Pentacles. So I will let you have a few moments alone with these piles, and then you can just skip to the reading. So see you there. So, hello everyone who chose pile 1 with King of Cups. Let's have a look at your cards. So, the first cards that I pulled were, well, obviously we have the King of Cups here and the Six of Pentacles, and I pulled this card in combination with the King of Cups to sort of determine what role you will be playing this month. And the Six of Pentacles here tells me that the role you will be playing is that of a either someone who is in the role of giving or in the role of receiving. So as you see in this card, there's this sort of like unequal balance of power or of receiving. So that's the theme of this card basically. You never know which one of these persons you are. You just have to look at the signs and, see what's going on. Like, are you the one supporting, let's say, your friends and family, or are you the person receiving help from your friends and family? But with the King of Cups here, I feel like you might be the person who is in charge of the giving, okay? Because the King of Cups is a very diplomatic, generous person, okay? And next, I pulled an oracle card from the Egyptian Gods deck here. So this oracle card here represents the theme of of the month for you. And we have a god called Hathor, and in this card or in this reading it represents intelligence, but to me this card reminds me of the Empress in Tarot. So Hathor has similar qualities of care and nurture, but more than that, she's also a very passionate and very joyful person. So I feel like the theme for you this month kind of goes along with what I said with these cards here, of like you giving and maybe nurturing other people, but you also being the source of joy for other people in May, and your life also being filled with a lot of passion during this month. Okay, and next I pulled 6 tarot cards to represent the energies present in your life this month. So we have 4 cups, Hanged Man, Page of Pentacles, 2 of Swords, 3 of Cups, and the Sun, which is a very beautiful card. I just get the sense that you will begin the month by not really feeling it, because of the 3 cards here, the Hanged Man, 4 of Cups, and 2 of Swords. I don't really see a lot happening here, or if something does, you're not really appreciating it. You might be taking things for granted this month. I feel like it's not really a period of feeling negative or anything like that, but rather just passive and maybe contemplative a bit. The Hanged Man here tells me that you might be gaining some valuable insights into your life during this time. So I feel like it's not a time wasted at all. But yeah, like the passions that we talked about here with the Hathor Oracle card, excuse me, they are more present here when we look at these other cards. So I feel like for some of you it could be like your month starts in a kind of like meh way, but then it kind of picks up and things get exciting and fun. Or for others it could be that these energies are kind of like a roller coaster. Like sometimes things are very uneventful, and then things get busy, and then they become uneventful again, and then busy, like a roller coaster. But yeah, anyway, the other energies that I am seeing here, I feel like the other part, or the second chapter of me, so to speak, is all about like adventure and friendship and possible success. Even like if you've been expecting some kind of breakthrough, it could be on the cards in May. But more than that, I just see you enjoying the people in your life, enjoying the sun. Like if you live on the northern hemisphere, spring is coming, so you might be like gardening or just enjoying nature and all the flowers blooming and the sun shining. So it's sort of like life picks up after this like I said earlier, uneventful period of time in your life. Okay? By the way, sorry about the changing light. It's still daylight outside, so sometimes it's sunny and then, the camera kind of picks it up, and sometimes it gets cloudy and again the camera picks it up. But now I turn on the light, so hopefully the light is a bit more even. But yeah, to get on with the reading, I also pulled an advice card for you for this month, and it's sort of a spiritual advice, I would say, because it's from this yogic path or cougar deck that I've introduced in my show and tell video, and I've also used these cards in other readings as well. But yeah, anyway, the card that I pulled for you is called Buddha, and I'm gonna read what it says to you here in this book. So, Buddha, one who is aware. Buddha is not just one person, but anyone who has an aware and blessed soul. Right now, that is you. You have woken up to your true self and let go of delusions that were binding you to the material world. You have taken off the mask of security and given a good look into the vastness of your own soul. You have realized that nothing is inherently good or bad, but rather just is. You understand the non-dual nature of the world and are letting go of the judgments of the mind. Hold the knowledge that we are all Buddha nature. It just takes remembering. So yeah, that was kind of like a very spiritual minded advice for the month. And that was your reading, pile number 1. I really hope that you enjoyed it and that it was enlightening to you. So thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for your likes, comments, and subscriptions as well. I really appreciate the support. So stay tuned for my future videos. Till next time, bye bye. Hello everyone who chose pile 2 with King of Swords. So let's look at your cards and see what they tell us for this month or the next month. So we obviously have the King of Swords here, and then also I pulled a card for the role that you will play in May, and we have the 7 of Pentacles here. So the combination of these 2 cards here makes me think of a steady worker. Like, you will keep putting one foot in front of the other without guarantees for any kind of success or any type of good result, but you're doing the work with your future in mind, because you know that whatever you do at this very moment will matter in the future, despite you not knowing fully like what the future will bring, if that makes sense. And then we have the King of Swords as well, and she brings a very kind of logical and calculated approach to this energy here. I also pulled an oracle card, excuse me, to represent the theme of this month, the month of May. So we have a card called Amon-Ra, and Amon-Ra in the Egyptian mythology was a king of all gods. So she's like, he, I guess, is the start of everything, the creator of everything. So this card represents creation. And yeah, like I said earlier about these cards here kind of representing the work that you do. So I feel like this card here supports the vision or the image of you doing the work in May to build something in your future without actually like knowing if it will pay off. But yeah, the moment of like initializing and working towards is very important, even though you won't know the success of it yet. And then I pulled 6 cards to represent the energies in May. So we have 7 of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, Page of Cups, 3 of Swords, 10 of Swords, and a 4 of Wands. So first of all, I'm seeing the Queen of Pentacles here as you. It sort of goes along with the cards that I pulled earlier here. Like I see you being logical and very grounded person this month while working towards something that you want, possibly career or education related things, I would say. But this card also denotes like happy home life, successful career, stability in your financial life. So yeah, in general, it's about stability, wealth, abundance, especially in material sense. So I feel like during May, you will enjoy at least some of those things in your life. Okay? But then you may have also noticed we have a lot of Swords energies here, and I sort of feel like this energy here is like a wall of hurt. Maybe something has happened or will happen that broke your heart or will break your heart, like a breakup or distance from a loved one or any kind of disappointment or sadness, or maybe you just feel like betrayed and ostracized, or it could just represent like feeling depressed and exhausted in general, and there are just like these different layers to it. The 7 of Swords here tells me that you're avoiding facing these feelings, and you may also be hiding them from other people in your life. You could also be avoiding the people in your life. Maybe you're kind of like turning inwards in May. I feel like you are like putting this happy front on the outside, so people will see the Queen of Pentacles, but then inside you're feeling all these hurt feelings. So yeah, I feel like there's a lot going on this month, but it's pretty internal, I would say. But then we also have these happier cards here as well. The Page of Cups here. It's a very lovely card. It tells me that you are a dreamer. So I feel like at some point you may be facing the other way from these hurt feelings. Like maybe you will reach that point where you just have enough and you will just rather turn into your dream world. And that could be a very good thing. Like maybe you have a dream of some kind, like a life goal or something, and you start dreaming about it, visualizing it. Like that's always the first step towards creating something new. And like I said, we have these cards of creation here. The Page of Cups is also a little like adventure. So maybe for some of you that could mean like traveling, or for others it could be like meditating, or trying to connect with your higher being or the spirit, spiritual stuff like that, like having a spiritual practice. It's also very much connected to your inner child energy. So the smart thing would be to consider what the child you would love to do, like what their dreams were and what they need from you now, especially if you are experiencing any sort of like hardships or negative energies or attitudes in your life. Then we have the Four of Wands, which is maybe I'm feeling it as a bit like disconnected energy from the other cards. So I feel like this could just represent like maybe traveling to visit your family, or maybe like a loved one, family member or a friend coming to visit you, because this is a card of homecoming. And like if you and your loved one live apart, like because of circumstances, like a job abroad or something, this could mean that they're coming home to you now. It's also a card of celebration and happiness, like happy, stable home life and happy, stable energies. So yeah, it definitely feels like the month won't be only about these swords here. Like they are definitely present in a strong way, but there's also a lot of like lovely, stable energies here as well. And lastly, I pulled an oracle card from the Yogic Path oracle card deck as an advice for you this month, and it's sort of a spiritually minded advice, I guess. And the card that I pulled for you is called Dharma, and I'm gonna read what it says here in this book. So, Dharma, your highest purpose. Congratulations, you are on the path to fulfilling your highest purpose. You have recently unraveled deeper insight into why you were put on this planet and are ready to share your gifts in a bigger way. You have realized that the obstacles you have faced were given to you for a reason and have provided you with the strength you needed to show up as your highest self. The universe is ready for for you to rise up into your Dharma role, to uplift the vibration of this entire planet. Continue to listen to the whispers of your soul. And yeah, I feel like this reading, this advice is quite accurate. Like, especially the part you have realized that the obstacles you have faced were given to you for a reason. So yeah, like the card says, I feel like whatever the hardships that you are facing here, they are there to guide you in the right direction, to a direction that is more aligned with your vision and your soul. So your personal dharma, okay? So pile number 2, that was your reading. I really hope that it was enjoyable and interesting to you. Thank you so much for watching, and also thank you so much for your likes and comments and your subscriptions. Your support really means a lot to me. So thank you for watching, and until next time, bye bye. Hello, pile 3. You chose the King of Pentacles. So let's look at your cards. Firstly, well, obviously we have the King of Pentacles here, but I also pulled 2 cards to represent the role that you will play in May. You actually got 2 cards. I was meaning to pull 1 card. I got 2 because the other one jumped out. So we have the 9 of Swords and the Ace of Wands here. First of all, the 9 of Swords is a card of like suffering in silence, suffering alone. It's all about like anxiety, fears, worries. So I feel like you may be experiencing those emotions right now, or will experience them to some extent in May. But with the Ace of Wands here, I feel like you are definitely moving away from this sort of energy here, this energy, mindset, attitude that you may have. The Ace of Wands here provides you with a new direction, a new sort of mindset that is more like active and more inspirational, more optimistic, I'd say. I feel like springtime will help you with that. I mean, if you live in the northern hemisphere where we have spring season right now, like look at the flowers here with the King of Pentacles and with the Ace of Wands. Yeah, so I feel like you will be moving away from this negative mindset and towards this very like stable time in your life in terms of material aspects particularly. I also pulled a card to represent the theme of the month, and it's this oracle card from the Egyptian gods oracle deck. The card is called Mehen. The theme is protection, and you know, Mehem is the serpent god who protects another god, and he is a protector in times of conflict. So I feel like this card tells you that whatever may be happening with your life in May, you will be protected, so you don't have to worry about any hardships or issues or conflicts or anything like that. And next, I pulled 6 cards to represent the energies of May. So we have the 8 of Wands, King of Swords, 8 of Pentacles, the Chariot, King of Cups, and the Hermit. So, first of all, I'm seeing a lot of movement here with the Chariot and the 8 of Pentacles. So things are happening fast. I feel like it will be about something that you have been working towards for a while, and like very patiently and steadily, because we have this snail here. I feel like you've been ambitious, but like steady and patient at the same time. That's the energy that I'm getting from the Chariot here. And then suddenly things just pick up, and like you are catapulted into a lot of action. Like a good example would be like if you have a business, maybe it's been slow for a while, but then things just suddenly get really busy. So that sort of energy, but that could be with like anything that you have going on in your life. Like I'm just getting, for many of you, it could be like business, career, education related things. But yeah, it could be anything, because like we have all, we have our individual stuff going on in all of our lives. With the 8 of Pentacles here, yeah, like I said, I feel like it could be like a work thing or a project or something, maybe even an artsy thing, like creative thing. But yeah, this thing that you are occupied with is something that makes you work a lot, but you are very committed to it. And it's possible that you have been committed to it for some time, and now you are, seeing a lot of action with it. Then we have these 2 kings here, King of Cups and King of Swords. I feel like, especially with the Chariot here, which is all about like balance and trying to rein different energies, you are trying to balance between 2 different things or people. So for some of you, it could be like having 2 different men in your life, like that could be like dating or in a career related thing, or like 2 mindsets. So like one is very logical, and there's a lot of like mental disciplined energy, and then we have this emotional creative energy here. So I feel like these cards could also represent you having to master 2 different aspects of yourself during May. So let's say like I said, like a business thing, it could require you to be very disciplined, very logical. But then on the other hand, like let's say it's a creative business, like something to do with art or something like that, then you still have to balance with the creative side of you. So yeah, 2 very different types of energies here, one creative and one logical and disciplined. And it's definitely like work balancing between them, whether it's like mindsets within you in your own mind, or like people in your life. Then we have the Hermit here. Yeah, so I feel like something about this month makes you want to turn inwards. Like maybe it's all this like hustle and bustle that is going on, or this huge balancing act that you need to pull off, or this like ambitious drive. Like at some point it may get a bit too much for you and you just want to kind of turn inward, take some time off for yourself. And it could be the healthy option for you. Like, yeah, I definitely feel like when things are busy, the more I need time alone. So yeah, I feel like it could be that kind of energy. And lastly, I pulled an oracle card from the Yogic Path oracle card deck. So this is an advice for the month of May. It's sort of a more spiritual advice, I guess. And for you, I pulled Chinamasta. It looks a bit wild and brutal. So I'm gonna read to you what it says here in this book. So, Chinamasta, goddess of radical self-transcendence. You are waking up and experiencing the radical pleasures of letting go. Chinamasta, the headless goddess, has come to guide you in this massive state of transformation as you turn passion into spiritual energy. Kundalini, primal energy, is rising, and you have given up a role you once carried to step up more fully into your power. Don't feel fear in this state of transition. Chinamasta's gift is to transmute the darkest of times into the most powerful of energies. Carry her fierceness as you tear off a former head you once had and experience the inner peace that comes with being divinely yourself. So that was the message of Chinamasta. And this was your reading for May. I really hope that you enjoyed it and that it provided you with a lot of insights. So thank you so much for watching, and also thank you so much for your likes and comments and subscriptions. I really appreciate it. So stay tuned for future videos. I will be publishing one video a week on Fridays starting from this week. I will probably write this in the description box as well. But yeah, I haven't been keeping to a very steady schedule. Like I post once a week, but the day always varies, so I'm trying to make my schedule more consistent. And at this point I will be posting one video per week, but maybe at some point I might start posting like twice a week or something like that. But at this point, posting on Fridays. So yeah, anyway, I will let you go now. Thank you for watching and stay tuned.